Hello and welcome to Daily Records. I am Tommy Burton and we are talking about the Beatles for the month of July, and we are talking about the covers albums. And here is another one of those covers albums. This is Paul McCartney's Choba CCCP. It really means literally back in the USSR again. And a lot of people just call this the Russian album. It was released on October 31st, 1988, and it is the seventh studio album by Paul McCartney. And it was released exclusively in 88 in the Soviet Union. And it is made up entirely of covers, oldies rock and roll songs, very, very similar to John Lennon's rock and roll album, which we've already talked about. And so it finally had an extra track added to it and was released internationally in 91. Now, following the previous studio album from Paul McCartney, Press to Play, probably one of the first big missteps in Paul McCartney's career, arguably. And so he had spent a lot of the next year kind of figuring out what he wanted to do next. He went into the studio and recorded an entire album with producer Phil Ramone. But there was only one single released from those sessions, Once Upon a Long Ago, with Back on My Feet. And it was only released in the United Kingdom in November. So he got together with several of his musician buddies and started doing some jam sessions and was playing some of his favorite songs from the 50s. And so he basically said, we're going to go in the studio and record these things live. So over the course of 2 days in the summer of 87, he went in and recorded 20 tunes. Now, there were some other tracks recorded, like I'm in Love Again, which came out on the international release. I Want to Cry, which was an original song. That was released as a B-side on McCartney's This One. It's Now or Never, that was released later on a New Musical Express compilation. And there was also a version of the Beatles song, I Saw Her Standing There, but that kind of remains to be heard, at least publicly. Now, it was originally released with about 50,000 copies, and it sold out almost immediately. There was a second release, a second pressing with 2 more tracks that came out about a month later. And so finally, it started to show up in other countries for ridiculous prices. And so finally in 91, it was given a worldwide release. And so there is a misprint on the title on that one. But and there's been some discussion here in the vinyl community about, which version you have. And so there you are. And I don't know which one I have. I mean, the spine, I don't know. You guys can comment down here. I'll show you the label as well. So my experts will tell you everything looks Russian. So what do I know? But the songs on here, just Paul McCartney sort of running list of influences. Kansas City, Twitty Flight Rock, which is the song he auditioned for the Beatles with, or auditioned for John Lennon. Lottie Miss Claudie, Bring It On Home to Me, Lucille, Don't Get Around Much Anymore, I'm Gonna Be a Will Someday, That's Alright Mama, Summertime, great version of Summertime, Ain't That a Shame, Cracking Up, Just Because, and Midnight Special. So just a fun little romp, not too difficult, not too challenging, but it's sort of Paul cleansing the palate, getting ready for what's to come next, which would be Flowers in the Dirt eventually, a great album. So the Russia album is today's Daily Record by Paul McCartney. Like, comment, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram and Twitter. It's TommyBurton75. In the meantime, I will see you all again tomorrow with another Daily Record.